Hey, it's Steve with DSP Photography, and I am going to do an edit from start to finish and show you how I do it. We're going to edit this picture. I shoot RAW, so obviously it's going to open up into ACR, which is Adobe Camera Raw. If you shoot JPEG, you can still open your images in there. You just have to make sure it sets to go in there. First thing I'm going to do is change white balance. So I'm going to use my little white balance tool. I'm going to choose something that's black. And then I use my eyeballs. I'm calibrated, so I'm usually just my memory. It feels like it's a little too green. So I'll pull that up a little bit more. Alright. That's all I'm actually going to do in here. The only other thing I do usually is, if it's shot at a high ISO, I'll add a little luminance, which is just noise reduction luminance, sorry. And I'll open my image. Alright, once it's opened in here, I am going to edit it. I'm going to use that Workflow Wonders, Sidekicks. I may pull in another one. I usually use matte and rich for my style of editing, so obviously if that's not your style, you want to try one of the other ones, that's good too. Actually, I'll just show a few different edits because it doesn't take too long. It takes longer because I have a slow computer, but that's about it. Alright, and that's matte and rich at 100%. There's the difference. I'm going to open it up. You can play with the sharpening if it's too sharp, depending on your image, obviously. You can turn it off and on and see. This is deepen. I'm actually going to pull that back just a tad. And I'm going to pull the contrast back just a tad too. The rest is pretty much how I like it to look. I might pull the matte back too, actually. Alright, so there's that really quick on that. The next thing I'll do, and you can do this first, it'll be underneath it, doesn't matter. I like to usually run the workflow, see what it does to my image, and then go up to Sidekicks and do what I did up here. And what I'm going to run is deep color. Light and dark. Sorry. Creamy skin boost. And I'll come back and see if I want to add one of those in just a second. So deep color, and all of these should, or most of these, actually I think light and dark has I turned off all my, you can turn them off like looking here. The pop-ups, I don't like to have them pop up obviously, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing with them. But if you don't, you can keep the pop-up on, and elements have to have pop-on. So I'm going to take a brush, make sure it's white, hit X as a shortcut key to change from your foreground and background color. And I'll get a white brush. It is I'm going to do that at 40%. And just brush. I'm only going to brush it over my background. To see what if I like what it's doing. Alright, so that's deep color. It just deepens up and adds a little bit of a color pop. Creamy skin. Adds a lot of warmth. She's pretty warm as is, but it adds a creamy warmth. And boosts the color up just a little bit. So if you have someone tanner, you might want to be careful on that. Light and dark, what you want to do is get a black brush and a white brush. Black will make it dark. Paint on wherever you want it to be dark at. White will make it light. So paint a white brush onto the light areas. I'm using it at 40%, which is rather strong. And I actually have the layer set at 100%, but I'm going to adjust that down in a second. Okay. And I'm going to get a white brush at 15% and just paint over, oops, wrong way, sorry. What's good is you can use this to add definition. So you can use it to paint over the highlights, like over the legs. And the hair, you can paint on the highlighted parts of the hair, and it brightens it up. And then you can get a black brush at 10% and paint in the shadowy areas to really define, add definition to like legs or arms, or just go crazy like I did there. Alright, so that's after light and dark, that's at 100%, so I'm going to lower that down to 60%. I forgot I was going to straighten this bad boy. This is just using a straightening tool in Photoshop. Alright. Sorry, that took a little longer than I wanted. Alright, the next thing I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go and open up actually Color Medley, which has all the, it's got a few colors. Oh, I say a lot, sorry. It's got a few color actions, black and white actions, so it's got light leaks and gradients, hazes, tones, all that good stuff. So, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab Plum Crazy and Sweet Blues. And I'm only really paying attention to the steps because I'm going to mask it off of her. I'm going to use a black brush and set it at 60% and brush this off of her. And then I'm going to mask it off of also the Sweet Blues layer. I'm going to mask it off her skin. Alright. Now I was using a brush at 60%. So just whatever works best for you. So that's before and that'd be after. And you can play with the tone, pull it up. It has more of a purple. This adds a little bit more blue. and a lot of contrast. And you can even change this to be multiply, or that way you can add some color while darkening, but you gotta be careful because if you go to 100%, obviously it looks weird. You want to use opacities to really blend it in better. And what's good is just to pull it on one and then you can scroll through them and see what you like best. You can even go color burn, which really deepens it up, adds that gritty feel. It's really good for urban images. And the best thing is just to play around and figure out what you like best for your image. Obviously this is a very dark, matte, almost, there we go, image, and like you can go in and if I wanted to add more matte at the end, go in and do that, and then pull it at the top. There you go. So it applies to my tones I just added also. And I'm going to actually pull these all together in one, and let's go down and do a different edit really quickly, because I just realized I didn't log in, so it's only going to give me a 15-minute limit. Let's do soft and colorful. I'll run that really quick. Sorry. And then when you run it, that's what it looks like at 100%, and that's really strong on this image. Obviously our image is a little bit different. You could just easily duplicate the background, hit multiply, and that darkens your image up quite a bit. Or you can open up your folder and edit layer by layer. This is a lightning layer, and that's what really makes it bright. So if it's too bright on your image, pull that bad boy down. That's the contrast and toning. I'm going to pull my toning down a little bit. And she's pretty warm, so I'm actually going to turn the warmth off. And I love soften, so I'll actually pull that up a little bit. So that's soft and colorful, and that's when I tweaked it just a little bit to fit what I needed. And you can even layer them on top of each other, which looks really strong right now, but you could take like this group and pull it down. This if you're from Photoshop. Obviously if you're in Photoshop or in Elements, you can't group things together, so you'd want to just go through and play with your layers. I added too much warmth, so we'll take that one off. So that's what those two put on top of each other, and with a couple tones in there. And then I like a vignette, so we'll run that really quick. This is a really subtle one on this set, and you can pull it up and down and play with that as you need. And then if you want to throw a black and white really quick, you could just do your regular edit and then run a black and white action, whichever you prefer, on top of there, and that's classic black and white. And you can go in and tweak it as needed. I think it boosts my midtones a little too much. And we'll pull that conversion up there, and actually I can even go another matte layer on top of that. And there you go. And now it's a black and white. So a million different options, just mix and match, play with different layers and opacities, and if you're looking for more tones, Color Medley's got all the toning. Thank you very much.